think, alright, try that. Let's see if that works. Trying to get this situated here. This is just not wanting to cooperate here tonight. Oh, testing, not working. Oh, no.
Chatham grabs the checkered flag, he wins.
Victories for Sam Bachman as he takes the win at the Port Royal Speedway.
Wins another one at the Knoxville Raceway. Blake Chapman wins.
A corner down here through the front straightaway. Watson gets the win here tonight.
Chad Greggs, a Knoxville Nationals champion. But to the checkered flag, Blake Christopherson, your winner at Lernerville. Here they come off in turn number 4. To the checkers, Templeton takes the win.
Through the back stretch into corners 3 and 4 out here. It's going to be Watson for the win.
The 56 wins. First time winner Randy Streets.
But your winner at Weed Sports is going to be Brandon Templeton in the Salty Dog.
All right, folks, we're trying to get things rolling here. Just give us a moment as we get things situated. As we're just waiting on our cameras to come live here. All right, here we go. We got connected here and set and ready to rock and roll. Now, wait. Heck going on here. Here we go. All right, there is your qualifying times there on the left of your screen. So we got here just in time for your 358s here. We get started. Here comes your heat number 1 coming to the grid here tonight. It's going to be Sam Bachman bringing out the lead here. Billy Roberts there in second. Clay Christopherson third. Brian Dickens, he'll start there in fourth. Bob the Good and Abed Joseph Grandy there in sixth. Also here tonight we got Brian Moore there in seventh. Scott Thompson there in eighth. That is your starting grid here as we get set to rock and roll. Alright, try to figure out which camera is best here. We are at, let's go ahead and bring up the race info here real fast. We're here at, where is, oh, that's not what I want there, as that date is completely wrong. We are in December, no longer October, so get rid of that. There we go. We're here at Cedar Lake, here tonight. We're the Coast to Coast Racing League. You're watching here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Billy Roberts is out there in a second. Clay Christopherson there third. Last lap around here, you're going to watch that pace car shoot off down this front straightaway. Here they come to the green flag down here. Barney's got it out down here in the corner number 1. Billy Roberts out here on the inside. Christopherson there behind him. Coming up there off the corner, you got the 99. Billy Roberts trying to hang on there as well as he's working on that outside. But as we know here at Coast to Coast, the invert up the top 4. So your fastest driver here, Brian Dickens in that 122, is going to try to squeak his way back up there to the front if he can to give himself the position he's hoping for. And he gets around Christopherson down there around the bottom side. Christopherson still trying to sling it around there. And there you see that 122. Brian Dickens working really, really well there out front. Leading the way, Sam Bachman still out there as you watch the 5 laps to go here in your heat number 1. And your 358s here right now as they work here off the corner, coming across the stripe. Now 4 laps to go. They work back down here in the corner number 1. Christopherson ends up getting up there across the nose a little bit up Brian Dickens. As Dickens now battle with Billy Roberts. Christopherson sitting second, Sam Bachman out there in front. In that 007. And oh no! 3 laps to go. And Roberts takes out Dickens. Bachman's there now out front. Christopherson there second. Grandy there in third. Brian Moore there in fourth. They bring it out there here onto the back stretch, back around here onto the front. 2 laps to go here for Sam Bachman. He worked down there in the corner number 1 and 2. Final lap here, off onto the back stretch. Working his way out here onto corner number 3 and 4. Coming off of 4, it will be Sam Bachman getting the win there in the 007 here at Cedar Lake. All right, here is your heat number 1 grid. Your heat number 1 results. And it's going to be Sam Bachman there with Clay Christopherson second, Justin Grandy there third, Brian Moore fourth, Bob DeGood there fifth, Brian Dickens there in sixth, Billy Roberts in seventh, Scott Thompson there in eighth. All right, here for heat number 2. We got Jeff Barger starting on pole. Dean Reynolds in second. Trevor Giroux there in third. Alex Parmalu, he'll roll off in fourth tonight. Isaac Salas fifth. Kelly Wheeler in sixth. Harold Klump in seventh. That's how they stand right now. We'll take a look back here at your standings. They get set, lined up here for heat number 2. Your standings here for your small blocks here. William Watson has the lead right now with 643. Clay Christopherson in second with 610. Dean Reynolds third with 562. Isaac Salas with 560. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, as we won't know right away who wins. They got a few here in, a few drop weeks and stuff. Hey, watch him work down here off of corner number 3. Back around here onto the front stretch. Green flag's out. There you see Reynolds up there on the high side of that purple and white, number 79. And he's got that 513 there. Jeff Parker working on his inside. Down there on the bottom as well, you got that 397. Trying to work around the outside of Trevor Giroux, who's also on the bottom. Alex Allen back here in fifth, and he tries to find his way through the pack. As you watch him work there off the corner. Alex Parmalu there in the third. Working down there. Oh, hang on to it. The 513 got into the tires. Ends up coming back to the back of the pack. Jeff Barger getting into the bottom tires. Now as they work here off turn number 4, back down here in the 1. 5 laps to go here at Cedar Lake. As you watch him come off here. Salas getting that outside lane, getting a run there. Down there in the corner, number 1 and 2. Back out here onto the backstretch. Salas up there in the 4th. Now as Reynolds, you see him out there in the front right now. You got the 75 there of Trevor DeRue. And Salas working to his outside. Not quite there, but he is to the outside there to 397 of Alex Parmalou. Salas gets back up there against that outside wall, getting that momentum build up. 3 wide there coming off of 2. Down here in for 3 and 4. Salas back up there in the 2nd. Now they work there off of 4, coming across the line. Salas now comes down in the corner, number 1 and 2. Back here off. Great run there. Great momentum off the top side for Salas. They work there off through 3 and 4. Bringing it on down there to the white flag as they come down through. Start 1 and 2. Off onto the backstretch. Dean Reynolds out front. Salas there, 2nd. Trevor DeRue there, 3rd. Alex Pomerleau in the 4th. They work off corner number 4. It is Reynolds, Salas, DeRue, Pomerleau, Wheeler, Barker, and Klump as your finishers. We'll get your official results here in just a moment. Now here is your heat number 2. We got Dean Reynolds getting the win. Isaac Salas there in 2nd. Trevor DeRue in 3rd. Alex Pomerleau 4th. Kelly Wheeler there 5th. Jeff Barker 6th. Harold Klump there in 7th. Now, heat number 3 here. Randall Dixon starting out there on pole. Shane Billings in 2nd. Scott Riome. He'll start 3rd here tonight in that car number 4. Here is your points leader. William Watson down that number 23. Starting in 4th. Jeff Sharp in 5th. And Michael Vitale there 6th. Barry Wallace in 7th here so far tonight. There you go. There is your starting grid of heat number 3. There you watch him come off corner number 4. Down that front straightaway one more time around. There you got that 011. Randall Dixon out there in front on that bottom side. Watson looking to see if he can make a sweep of the championships here on Thursdays, or on this Thursday evening. I don't know, Anthony. I wish I could have went back and looked at that replay, but I couldn't. As we work on down here out of the corner. Down here off in the corner, number 1, or 3 and 4 rather. Coming back out here onto the front stretch. Here you got Dixon out front. Watson trying to get underneath the 17 of Billings as they work there off 3 wide. Looky there as you see Watson down there on the bottom side. Stuck there in the middle. Now there, oh, and we go 4 wide, possibly got 1 into the tires. That is going to be, and we got a couple spun around there. Now as they work there off of 2, down the back straightaway. Michael Vitale, Barry Wallace having issues back here at the back. That's the 210 and the 213. They get rolling again. Here's your leaders. Watson up to 2nd. He now tries to get up there to battle with Scott Riome. Now we got about 4 laps to go here in heat number 2. Down through the front straightaway, or down through the back straightaway here, in through 3 and 4. And back out here onto the front. They work down that front. In the corner, number 1. Up there on that high side, bring it home. Down on the bottom side, but Watson up there on that high side. We saw that high side start to prevail there for Salas. Now they work there off the corner. You got that FTM Motorsport machine there of Rio. Got a mirror full of Watson now, 2 laps to go. Watson now up there trying to find that groove. Looks maybe to the inside. Got a lap to go as Watson is there underneath of Rio. Can't quite get there. Can he get the slider here in through 3 and 4? No. That's going to be Rio getting the win. Watson right there though, not too far behind. As they work there off the corner. All right, here we go. Now, let's see. Who is it going to be starting here tonight. Well, we'll be back here after this short message with the warm-ups taking place right now.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we're back here at the Speedway. We get set to rock and roll here with your main event. Here's your starting grid for your 358s. Sam Bachman out there in front. Dean Reynolds in second. Scott Riome here third with Clay Christopherson in fourth. Isaac Sallet rolls off there in fifth. William Watson in sixth. Joseph Brandy will roll off in seventh tonight. Trevor DeRue there eighth. Randall Dixon in 9th, Brian Moore in 10th. In 11th, that's going to start Alex Parmalee with Jeff Sharp there in 12th. And in 13th tonight, we got Bob DeGood with Kelly Wheeler starting 14th. Shane Billings rolls off 15th tonight. Brian Dickens there 16th. Jeff Barger 17th. Barry Wallace there 18th. Billy Roberts in 19th. Harold Klump there 20th. 21st going to Michael Vitale. 22nd, Scott Thompson. That is your starting grid here tonight. Heat number 3 results. I don't know if we went over them or not, but it was Scott Rione getting the win. Watson for second. Randall Dixon third. Jeff Sharp fourth. Shane Billings fifth. Barry Wallace there sixth. Michael Vitale in seventh. That was your Heat 3. Now we get ready for the main event here. Bit exciting so far. as you watch come around there. Caution comes out as Brian Dickens has issues, along with Jeff Sharp. Jeff Sharp getting turned around here. We'll see exactly what happens here. One up there on that top side. In that number 28 or 280 on the scoreboard, however you want to look at it. They work there through the corner. And he gets shot up over the wall. Trying to figure out there. It looked like Watson was involved. In that 122, we'll see here. Or no, Watson, the 122 of Brian Dickens, I'm sorry. And they get together down there on the bottom side with the 397 there of Alex Carvalho. But Jeff Sharp taking a ride here early at Cedar Lake. It looks like the 11 of Randall Dixon comes, or not the 11. I don't think it's the 0. No, it's not the 11. It's the 11 I'm looking for. I'm not seeing it there on the scoreboard. Trying to figure out who it is. That'd be 213. Or no, that's not the 213. That's trying to figure this out here. I see the 11 there, but I'm not seeing it on the scoreboard. So I'm unsure exactly who that was that cleared out Jeff Sharp in the 02 or the 280. They're still under caution. We'll figure out exactly who this might have been. We work up through here. That was Kelly Wheeler in the 110. So Kelly Wheeler getting into the side of Jeff Sharp, sending Jeff Sharp up and over and into the pits. Thompson out, Roberts out, Sharp is out. Carvalho showing out as well. And you're back, green flag racing here off the corner. 26 laps to go here at Cedar Lake. Up there at the top side, that's Isaac Salad right behind him. That is William Watson. They are Chris Thompson down there on the inside lane, and they work on off the corner here. Watson trying to get up there to try to gain the spots he needs. Hard battles going on up front. Here off of corner number 2, back out here. I'm sorry, off the 4, back down here in the 1 and 2. That work there, top side, working well. Bottom side also working well. We've got a decent 2-lane racetrack going on right now there. As you see, Chris Starveson down there on the bottom. Dean Reynolds sitting up there on the top side. Sam Bachman, he's running that bottom. And he's got a great job going on. Watson has fallen back a little bit there on the top side. He's drifted back into 7th as that bottom side starting to prevail a little bit. Our Salad gets a little bit of problems there. Caution's probably coming out there for that one, and it will. We got a couple of them around back there. Scott Rion, Isaac Salas getting together. All right, well, good luck there, Thompson. Hopefully we will see it. Yeah, we're on board there, coming through there. You can see just problems there. We watch one more time here. Up there at the top of the speedway. Got Rio. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. They kind of stacked up there. And around when Wheeler got into Rio. Salas looks like he pulled it to the pits, maybe. Salas out. Barker is in the pits. Third caution on the night. And green flag come back into the air again. 21 laps to go. Bachman out there in front. Watson now up there in the fifth. Trying to work his magic up there on the top side. He doesn't have to worry about Salas too much right there with him. He rolls up there behind the 75 of Trevor Giroux, who's working the bottom side. I'm sorry, Joseph Grandy in the 518. So I was trying to look at. And Watson's right there behind him. Gustafson there in third. Reynolds there in second. Bachman out here in the front. Watson falls back in the pit as Grandy gets around him. And Grandy gets himself up there in the fourth. Christopherson up there in the third. Top racing, and it's a close championship. Like I said, I'm unsure exactly how it's going to play out until the points get added up, the drop weeks get added in, and we're under caution for the fourth time. This time for Brian Moore. Hey, Watson coming there off the corner. He got that 55 there. Brian Moore on the bottom side. He works down up quicker. He gets into the tires and slings it around there. Not quite what he wanted to do, but that will bring out the caution. Gene Reynolds there in second. Christopherson there in third. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, Christopherson in third. Got Randy there in fourth. Green flag in the air. They're back into corner number one with Bachman leading the way. Reynolds second. Christopherson there in third. Hey, watch that 518 there. Grandy trying to work his way down there below Christopherson as they work up there on that high side. I wonder if that bottom's gone away a little bit. And everybody's just trying to freight train it around the top right at the moment. There we go, back down here into corner number one. 13 laps to go as they work on to the backstretch. Everybody single file at the moment. Trying to find out where they need to be. Working there off of four. Got across the front straightaway. Dean Reynolds in second. Christopherson there third. Bachman out there leading the way. Ready to see Watson back here in the fifth. He tried to gain it there on the bottom side a little bit. Can't quite get the momentum to get up there beside the 518 of Grandy yet. And everybody just single filed out, working their way around the top of the speedway. Nobody's taking a shot as of yet. Bachman trying to gain a little bit of gap there, working the bottom side through 3 and 4. You see they close that gap back up there in 1 and 2. They'll take a shot back down there, throw that sport slider. And 3 and 4, they work there off, gives them a little bit of breathing room, but not enough. They work 9 laps to go here. Working in that bottom lane there off the corner for Reynolds, for Bachman, and he tries to make sure he keeps enough distance here between these drivers. Watson down there on the inside, trying to see if he can get a run there, cannot quite get it. Now back up there against the top side once again, trying to stay smooth. Get back up there, he got the 35 of Trevor Giroux right there behind him. Working there off of 2, down that back straightaway, 7 laps to go. Then through 3 and 4, Bachman out front, Reynolds second. Christopherson, they're third, Randy, they're fourth. Now watch all your drivers here tonight in the championship race. Working down this front straightaway into corner number 1 and 2. And, off of 3 and 4 now. Here, and they work down the front straightaway, around 1 and 2. Bachman up there at the top side. Reynolds there right behind him. Trying to keep up with everybody here. They work their off-4 once again. 3 laps to go. 4 laps to go, sorry. With Bachman leading the way, Reynolds in second as they work down the backstretch. Your top 3 drivers really trying to battle it out. Randy there in 4th, trying to hang on there. Doing a great job, and Watson's falling back a little bit now. And right on right there, off of 2, down here through 3 and 4, back out here onto the front stretch. Coming to 2 to go. And we're there into 1. Bachman out front. Reynolds in second, Christopherson third. Who's it gonna be? And you got FDM 1, FDM 2, FDM 3. Watson cannot get up there past Randy. A great run there as they come there out of turn number 4, coming to the flag. It will be Bachman. Then we got Reynolds, Christopherson, Randy, and Watson. Your top 5. Give a moment here while we wait on the official results. There they come. Official results are in. Here is your official results for your 358. We got Sam Bachman out there in front. Dean Reynolds second, Clay Christopherson there third, Joseph Grandy there in 4th, William Watson there in 5th, Trevor Giroux in 6th, Kate Billings in 7th, Michael Vitale there in 8th, Brian Dickens there in 9th, Randall Dixon in 10th, Harold Klopp in 11th, Scott Graham in 12th, Kelly Wheeler in 13th, Bobby Good there in 14th, Brian Moore 15th, Barry Wallace 16th, Isaac Salas 17th, 18th tonight, that'll finish. Jeff Barker with Alex Pomeroy in 19th, Jeff Sharp in 20th, Billy Roberts there in 21st, Scott Riome in 22nd. That will be your finishing order here. We'll get with our winners here momentarily. There we go now. Let's see, who do we got here? Anybody around? Now we got Christopherson getting 3rd. Dean Reynolds in 2nd. And Sam Bachman getting a win. We'll get with Dean here. Our 2nd place finisher. Good evening here, Dean. How's it going?
What's going on, Adam?
Not a whole lot, man. You're having a good couple days here.
Well, I guess I like talking to you, my friend, but that was a lot of fun. The track did lock down the one lane a little bit, but, Sam just did such a good job, didn't make any mistakes, and did what he needed to do, and really, with the 358s, you just don't get enough momentum to really try to do a slider or anything like that, and, it's just hope for him to tap the wall a little bit, so maybe I could sneak underneath, and then, but then I had to worry about Clay, who was just right there behind us, and, then with Clay, you just don't know if he's going to try to bottom and see if he can make that work. So, but that was a lot of fun. That was a good race, and congrats to Sam and Clay, and we had an FTM sweep, so you know, we got to be happy about that.
Well, I mean, it's still. I was looking at the points here at the beginning of the race, and I just don't know with the way you guys figure the drop weeks. I honestly don't know who's taking the championship.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be me because my 2 drops have already been used. You know, I got as many points as I could here. I had a 0x, but I didn't do the time trials well. So, where I think Clay and Bart there, they each have drops to use to drop off. So I think you're going to see them pull out on me a little bit further. But, you know, I mean, if you're top 3 in points in this league, I'm happy with that because such good competition here. Clay and William are just so good. So you know, if I finish 3rd behind them, I'll take it.
Well, you did a great job. Like I said, getting that 3-8 up there in the 2nd place here tonight. You had great runs last night in the Hometown Heroes races as well, and so I mean, for championship week, you're not doing too bad.
No, you know, I had a little tough luck when I came back from Charlotte. I had about 2.5 weeks there where I actually seemed like I had to get a quick repair or tow almost every race, and you have to stay patient. You're going to go through that. You're going to go through that spell where you think that everything's just going against you and stuff, and it's not really anybody's fault or anything like that. It's just one of those deals. But you know, I've been doing this long enough now to know that eventually break and race a little smarter, a little bit, you know, look a little further ahead, and you know, I've done that, and you know, it's come back around where you know we're getting podiums, and I'm just glad that you know, I finally got a little nighttime win last night with Hometown Heroes, so you know, that made this season a little bit better coming to the end.
Well, great job. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank here for getting that 358 there in the 2nd position?
Yeah, it's just the guys from FTM. Even though you know, we're racing against each other hard, and we're not talking to each other in the Discord while we're racing, but when we get done, we still analyze and say, hey, this worked better, that worked better, and we help each other out. But it's such a great team to be part of. And, you know, want to thank all those guys from FTM. Got to thank FTM for the sponsorship as well. You know, the whole team got together and pitched in, and we sponsored the 358 and the big blocks, and we're proud to do that. We're going to do it again next season, so we're good there. And Adam, thank you for pinch hitting. You know, we were supposed to have somebody else do Thursday, but evidently, you know, he had other things to do. So thank you to you and Zach and Joe Halter for filling in. So that's really cool. And you know, we got to thank Coast to Coast for giving us a place to race. And then we're going to put a big block in the car now, and or take out the big block, I should say. I don't have enough time to change the motors. You know, we're going to bring the big block out, see what we can do now.
Oh, I don't know. I know you know, I don't know if it worked like tractor pulling. I know there was a guy my dad talked about race or pulling in modified tractors. He'd go out to the pits and he'd add an engine for each class.
Well, sprint car teams, I've seen them change motors in 10 minutes, but you know, I think we'll just pull out the other car. I think that'll be a little easier.
I mean, I don't know what them drag racers do. I mean, they tear them down and rebuild them in quick time.
Oh yeah, they do it in 45 minutes. Change every piston and everything in those cars.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Complete rebuild.
Yeah, it is. And that's why they let fans come to the pits during those events so they can be up close and see that. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping someday to get to one of them.
Yeah, you need to. It's a good thing to watch.
So, congrats, Dean, and go get that big block fired up, and we'll see you in the big blocks.
All right, take care, and hopefully with a little luck, I'll talk to you again.
We'll see. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
All right, that was Dean Reynolds, our 2nd place finisher. Now we're here with Sam Bachman. Good evening there, Bachman. How's it going?
Going pretty good. And you?
It's going well. You got that FTM Motorsports 007 up there into the victory lane here.
Yeah, the track felt pretty good. I think Dean was just a little bit faster than me, but I was kind of, the line I was running was making it probably a little hard to pass, especially in 3 and 4. But overall, I mean, the track felt pretty good, so you can't complain.
Yeah, I just don't think there was anything left there on the bottom side, really, for anybody to make any passes here late in this run. So, I mean, as long as you stuck it there to the top, you pretty much were a rolling roadblock for anybody behind you.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Dean was just a tad bit faster. I felt like he was just running it in harder than me. But I was just being a little too concerned. conservative, so, but came out with the win, so I guess you can't complain.
You came out with the win, and great job. I mean, the track looked like that middle, it looked like it slipped off quite a bit here tonight.
Yeah, it did, especially on the bottom or whatever. It really started getting kind of slick down there. There was a thin line that run down there, but I think it was maybe Clay was thinking it was probably coming alive towards the end. He was running it that last lap or two, so, but see how the big blocks do, I guess.
Well, we'll see. Good luck to you and them. And you got sponsor shots. Anybody you want to thank?
Oh yeah, the boys over at FTM, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop. He really works hard. Get us the dig. Dean over at Super Dark Car Series, Expert Installation, Vertex Graphics, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast, and obviously you Flieger for broadcasting tonight for us.
My pleasure. All right. Well, we'll see you in the big blocks coming up here shortly.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was Sam Buckman, your winner here in the 358. We're going to take a short break and bring back the big block, so don't go anywhere. Keep watching here at Coast to Coast Racing Network for all your Coast to Coast Racing League action.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get.
Right when we talked about it.
these dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, we're back here with the big block modifieds. And see Michael Vitale out there on track, Brian Moore as well, Dean Reynolds, Scott Rome out there. And once again, your points leader in this is the number 23, William Watson. And behind him, it's going to be, I believe, Clay Christopherson once again trying to battle it out here. Yes, Clay Christopherson trying to get up there to battle it out with Watson. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how this plays out for the points. Vitale work down there in the corner number 1 and 2. Here they come. Vitale working there off of 2. Rio down here through 3 and 4. No, I'm sorry, no, that was 1 and 2. Ah, man, I'm getting turned around here. Brian Moore here in the 55. Yeah, I don't know why the flags aren't working the way they need to be there on the timing table. Here we go, getting everything situated here. And practice-wise down here. Qualifying underway here. There you see them all there. Got the qualifying in there. Watson qualifying for your points leader. Chris Starman back here in 13th. We'll be getting here with your grid here in just a moment for heat number 1. I'm going to have 2 heats, I think, maybe 3. Seidel finishes out his qualifying run, gets himself up there in the 7th. So everybody qualified. Now, Thompson, hopefully you're here in this one and are able to make a run. Looks like we're going to have 2 heats. Here is your heat number 1 grid. Maverick Seidel will start out there on the pole. Isaac Salas there second. Trevor Guru in third. Joseph Grandy in the 4th. Dean Reynolds 5th. Sam Bachman there in 6th. Scott Riome in 7th. Bobby Good there in 8th. Brian Moore in 9th. Jeff Barger rolls out in 10th. Hey, watch them come all around here. Great job so far. Top 5 in points here tonight. Coming in tonight here in your big block. Gonna be William Watson leading the way. Clay Starlin in 2nd. Sam Bachman 3rd. Dean Reynolds 4th. Billy Roberts in 5th. That is your top 5 in the points. The driver is swinging around here, coming off turn 2. Working down that back straightaway. Could be going green this time by. Seven laps of distance here. Green flag, well, sorry, 8 laps of distance here as they come down here into corner number 1. Salas up there on that high side, Seidel down there on the bottom side. Trying to hang on to it. Seidel's there in the 26. Trying to stay out in front. Going to slide it up there in front of Salas. Now he works there off through corner number 1 and 2 down there on the bottom side. Working there off into the corner. We got that 75, or, yeah, sorry, the 075 there out of Trevor Guru. Working down there on the bottom. Going underneath. Seidel going to get ahead a little bit. Coming there off turn number 2. Down here through 3 and 4. Salas working down here on the bottom side as well. You got Seidel out there on the top side. There you see Bachman, your 388 winner. There he is down there. Salas getting, or not Salas, but getting into a couple drivers out there. Got into Salas, got into Seidel. Reynolds slides way up there to the outside of that car, number 79. Now we see Seidel back down there on the bottom side. Guru out there in front. Randy there in 2nd. There you see Scott Riome there in 3rd. They roll off here. 2 to go here in heat number 1. Down through the back straight away. Randy taking over 2nd there as they roll off through 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front straightaway. White flag in the air as they work down here off corner number 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4 they go. As they work down there off the corner comes the 75 of Trevor Guru. Down here off into corner number 1. As your unofficial results come rolling in. Heat 1 results. Gonna be Trevor Carew getting the win. Joseph Grande there second. Scott Real in third. Dean Reynolds fourth. Maverick Seidel there in fifth. Sam Bachman in sixth. Brandon Moore in seventh. Jeff Barker there in eighth. Bobby Good ninth. Alex Salas 10th. Heat number 2. This is your starting grid. These 9 drivers here. Mike Brewer starts there in first. Billy Roberts second. William Watson third. Michael Vitale fourth. Alex Pomerleau rolls off fifth. With Randall Dixon there in sixth. Clay Christopherson in seventh with Harold Klump there in eighth. Scott Thompson rounds out your field here in ninth. Once again, 8 laps the distance. Last time around here, down the back straightaway, under pace laps, and we'll go green flag, racing for 8 laps. Got that 39 there on the front row of Brewer, along with Roberts up there on the outside. Down and away in the corner number 1. Whoa, hang on to it there, Watson getting tangled up there towards the back. Ends up getting shuffled backwards. He's going to have a hard time here tonight trying to get back up there towards the front. 7 laps to go. Here's their work off the corner down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Billy Roberts out there in front now as he's got around Brewer. Dixon there in third as he's got a mirror full of Christopherson and Vitale. Working down through the back stretch here through 3 and 4. Underneath goes Chris Starveson as they work here off the 4, down through the front straightaway, into 1 and 2. Vitale there in the middle. Getting underneath Dixon, can't quite get that pass done as of yet. Will do so a little bit coming across the line as they come through there. And it will be Vitale up there in the third at the moment. Now we see Billy Roberts and Mike Brewer battling out for the lead. Up there with 3 laps to go here in heat number 2. Down that back straightaway in through 3 and 4. Coming across the stripe, it will be Brewer with the lead now. 2 laps to go. Roberts trying to fight down there on the bottom side. And that top lane prevailing a little bit there for Brewer as he comes there off of 4. Getting a little bit better run off that top side. Looks like the bottom is the place to be in 1 and 2. Roberts can get a little bit of a run on the bottom through 1 and 2, but can't quite close it out through 3 and 4. As he loses ground there through 3 and 4, ends up there second, but Brewer getting the win here in heat number 2. Heat number 2 results. Gonna be Mike Brewer getting the win. Roberts in second. Vitale third. Dixon there fourth. Clay Christopherson fifth. Scott Thompson there sixth. William Watson seventh. Alex Pomerleau there eighth. Harold Klump in ninth. We'll be back after these short messages.
of love, these dollars had come together to support us. And we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, back here from the Speedway. We're getting ready for the start of your main event here tonight. Here is your starting grid for your big block. Trevor DeRue rolls it off on pole here tonight. Mike Brewer starts second. In third, that's going to be Joseph Grandy in that 518 starting third, with Billy Roberts in that 099 starting in fourth. Scott Grione driving at 4 will be starting in fifth tonight. Michael Vitale in the 213 starts in 6th. Dean Reynolds, car number 79, he'll be starting here in 7th. With Randall Dixon in that 011 starting in 8th. Maverick Seidel, he'll be starting in car number 26 in 9th. With Clay Christopherson there in 10th. Cena Bachman, the 007, starts in 11th. With Scott Thompson tonight rolling off in 12th in that car number 08. Brian Moore, the 055, will roll off in 13th, with William Watson after a troubling heat race will roll off in 14th at car number 23. Jeff Barger, 513, will be starting in 15th. Alex Pomerleau, the 397, will be starting in 16th tonight, with Bobby Good in that car number 7. Rolls off in 17th with Harold Plump. In that car number 35, will be rolling off in 18th tonight with Alex Salas. Rounding out your field tonight in 19th is where he'll start his comeback run here tonight. Couple of drivers here really had a problem when it came to their heat races. And we watch them come here off the corner. Billy Roberts and a gang up here at the front. And we see Trevor DeRue get off to a decent start down there on the bottom side. Brewer up there on the top side. As they work it down here in the corner number 3 and 4, back out here onto the front stretch. And they work off on here in through 3 and 4, 1 and 2 once again, down that back straightaway. Salas back here in 15th, already up for position. Back here also, we got Watson, he's also up for position. He's trying to work his way back up there through the pack here tonight. Let's take a look at the laps. We got 28 laps to go. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Watson tries to work his way up through the field. Doing a decent job of it right now. Same with Salas. Salas back here ended up dropping a position there around Alex Pomerleau, but now it's gains 2. Getting around as you're watching there. Mike Brewer in second. There in third and fourth. Michael Vitale up there on the top side looking to try to get around that 099 of Billy Roberts. You got Dean Reynolds up there on the top side as well. Rolling down there across the stripe in the corner number 1 and 2. Dixon back here through the middle of the racetrack. Watson's there in 10th trying to find a way to get around him. And you see back there, you got the number 7, Bachman, who ended up winning your small block. Dean Reynolds really putting on a great showing here this championship week, as he's here in 5th right now. Coming down there in through 1 and 2, back out there onto the back stretch. Right there behind Vitale, sitting there in the 5th. Working there around Grandy. And work there off the corner. Watson now in the 9th as he's down there on the bottom side, trying to get underneath Extra Starbuson. Will do so here, coming down the back stretch. Can he complete it completely? Here at 3 and 4. No, he cannot, as he's bringing with him Salas. Down there on the inside now as he slides it up there. He will clear him this time. Parks it on the nose of the 51 of Christopherson. Salas now down here on the inside. Working down here off the front in the corner number 1 and 2. Down that back straightaway, looking there at Brewer as he's trying to get underneath a Robert still. Down there through 3 and 4. Back out there onto the front stretch. Looking there at Michael Vitale, and he's got a mirror full of Dean Reynolds. Down here through 1 and 2 they go. We got the 26. Yellow flag is out. Maverick Seidel in car number 26. Losing a wheel there. We'll have to see here what exactly happened to him. Looks like he lost it just a little bit. Chased it there up the racetrack. Turned it in down there to the bottom side. And it just pushed up there to the outside wall. Snapping off that front wheel. He brings it up there out of the way. Parks it there, and that will probably be what it wrote for Seidel here tonight. Thank you everybody that's checking out Coast to Coast Racing Network for all your Coast to Coast Racing League action. If you watched last night, we had a great night of racing with the Hometown Heroes, with the limited late models, the 360 wing sprints, and then finishing out with the midgets. Here tonight, we started off with the 358 modified, then here with the big blocks, and then we'll be moving into the pro late models here tonight. And you'll watch them come down here off the corner. Everybody sits tight, make sure those wheels are snug. Salas out, Seidel out. Side by side, they come here off the 4, green flag back in the air, down here in the corner number 1 and 2. As they battled out Dean Reynolds way down there on the bottom side, trying to gain every little piece of momentum as he can. As we watch that bottom side kind of slick off a little bit here. As the race goes on, it'll slick off more and more through 3 and 4. And where I'm noticing the most slick spots, 1 and 2, not terrible. And I wonder how the drivers are kind of adjusting to this. We see there 1 and 2 is a completely different corner than what 3 and 4 is. Hey, watch Watson up there on the top side, sitting there in 9th. Dean Reynolds here in the 4th. Brewer, he's currently sitting here in 2nd, trying to find a way around the 75 of Giroux. Hey, it's down there through the bottom side of 1 and 2. Coming there onto the back stretch. Can't quite get the grip that he's looking for as of yet. Nothing there really on the bottom side. Entering turn 4. Scott Riom, Sam Bachman, Brian Moore, all caught up here. Bringing out caution number 2. Watching them here, comes down out of that corner. There you see Riom up there on the top side. Natatelli gets up there and snaps him into the outside wall. And there you see Bachman coming in and cleaning them out there at the end of that. Just unfortunate, no place for him to go. And Bachman missing a front wheel, but he's going to try to limp it around the pit road. Taylor Riom's got a real bad, I don't know how he's driving that car. It's got such a bad list to that thing. Go to the driver's side. Look how that thing's crab walking. Watson in the pits as well. Unsure what happened to him. It's a no-go at the moment. They're going to be green flag here in just a moment. Lights still on. They'll go out this time when they come across the line. Watson definitely not having a night that he was really hoping for. All work out here through 3 and 4. Getting ready to punch the gas. Brewer down there on the inside. And Guru gets a great start up there on the high side. Down here, 13 laps to go. They work through 3 and 4 once again. Up there, way up there, getting some sparks flying off of that number 75 of Trevor Guru. Brewer now stuck in the middle of Dean Reynolds and Billy Roberts. They work there through turn 1 and 2, back through there. Dean Reynolds trying to hang on to it here. Having up Brewer there in third. Working here off the corner. 11 laps to go. Everybody battling for position there. Brew off turn number 4 down here in the corner number 1 and 2. Watson, Rio, trouble. As caution is out. Lee Watson up there to the outside, on the outside rim here, off the racetrack, as he comes there off the corner. And gets picked up there on the front. Collects Scott Riom unintentionally. Let's see if we can get a better look here of this here back at the back. Watson's up there at the top, ends up driving it in right over top of the right rear of Vitale. And ends up getting collected out there. Not the night he was really needing, being the points leader here coming into the night in such a tough, tight race for the points. Thank you everybody that's tuned in over at Clear Farm TV, watching on the pole here tonight. We got the Coast to Coast Racing League. And we're watching over there at Coast to Coast Racing Network. Definitely appreciate you there as well. Coast to Coast Racing Network, the home for all your Coast to Coast Racing League races. Single file restart here. We are under 10 to go. 9 laps to go. Here's the header turn number 1. Reynolds up there at the top side. Really making a strong run this championship week. Just I don't know if he's got what it takes here in the big blocks to really make a difference. I do not know with the way the drop weeks work. He might be in contention. I don't know. As we said, we gotta wait to see how the drop weeks play out. He could be in contention here in the big blocks. They work down there off turn number 1 and 2. Back around off of 3 and 4 here, down the front straightaway into 1 and 2 once again. Billy Roberts down there on the bottom side. We got in third place. Up there in front, Trevor Guru, Dean Reynolds in second. Joseph Grandy, they're in fourth. Now back in the pit, and Brewer gets around him. Watson having issues, jumps to the pits. Driver pump there in 6th. Clayton Thompson working there underneath him. Down the front straightaway in the corner number 1. 4 laps to go to head here onto the backstretch. Dean Reynolds out there in second. Trying to see if he can get up there and battle for that lead. But he's got Trevor Guru out there in front of him. Here comes Roberts now. Down there to the bottom side. Trying to see if he can get anything off the bottom. Nothing yet. 3 laps to go here as they head off into corner number 4. Down into corner number 1 and 2. And I can see it here on the broadcast. I don't know if the drivers can tell in their wheels or not. We'll have to ask them that here during the driver interviews what they thought of the racetrack. And it looked like they had 2 different ends really to work with here. We're in final lap. Here comes Billy Roberts looking underneath Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds way up there to the top side. Trying to make that momentum happen. Can't quite get there. Well, look out. Here he comes. Momentum off of 4. Not enough. Billy Roberts finishes third. Trevor Garou gets the win here in your 358, or I'm sorry, in your big block modifieds. Trevor Garou, your race winner here at Cedar Lake. Here is your feature results as we bring them up. Trevor Garou gets the win. Dean Reynolds in second. Billy Roberts third. Joseph Grandy there in fourth. Mike Brewer fifth. Clayton Thompson there sixth. Sam Buckman seventh. Harold Klump eighth. Brian Moore there in ninth. Randall Dixon there in 10th. Michael Vitale in 11th. Scott Thompson there in 12th. Bobby Good there in 13th. Jeff Barger 14th. Alex Pomerleau 15th. William Watson 16th. 17th going to Scott Rio. 18th, that's going to go there to Isaac Salas with Maverick Seidel finishing in 19th tonight. All right, now it's time to get with our winners. All right, here we go with who we got here first. All right, they're all here. We'll get with Billy Roberts. Good evening there, Billy. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. You had a good run there, just unfortunately not quite enough to get up there to Dean Reynolds.
Well, yeah. We just didn't. We weren't that fast. We just got lucky where we was at, that's all.
Well, kind of take us through. How did you think that car felt out there on this track that seemed to have 2 different ends tonight?
Oh, the car felt really good. The track was really racy, so they had a good top, good bottom. Made it good fun.
Well, I know looking here at the broadcast, the 2 sides of the racetrack, turns 1 and 2, seem to wear in quite differently from 3 and 4 tonight.
I don't know, 1 and 2 you had that bump you had to worry about going in, and then 3 and 4 you could pretty much run the top or the bottom. You just had to be easy on the throttle,
Well, isn't that any time in a dirt car?
Well, not everybody understands that, I guess.
Well, I mean, you did a great job getting that. Well, I think you're supposed to be number 99, but it looks like you got your numbers flipped upside down.
I know, my car says 99, doesn't it?
No, on the broadcast, it's been 66.
I don't know what's going on, because my car says, I just had a new car painted, it said 99, and...
It said 99 in the small block, but not on the big block.
Huh. Yeah. Well, I started out at 66, and there was like 4 different 66s, so Dean was nice enough to give me the 99 back, so I got lucky there.
So, we're just running that you ended up flipping the numbers upside down.
Right. Earlier, it would have been right side up the first race.
Oh, man. You had a great run, though, tonight in the big blocks. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank?
Of course, all my teammates over at Leadfoot Mafia, Randy, Mike, Jake, Junior, Gears Unlimited, my company, Regal Wraps, FTM, everybody that makes this happen. So, that's it.
Wow, great job. Yeah, I don't know what color your car is supposed to be, but it's orange on our broadcast.
Yeah, it's supposed to be orange.
All right, so we got the right colors, just the numbers are upside down.
Yeah, I didn't switch. I'll have to look at that for next season. Well, I will be on my other account next season, so all my cars will be 99. We'll be right on then.
All right. Well, good job there tonight again, Billy, and look forward to next season.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Billy Roberts there in our third spot here tonight. Dean Reynolds here in second with another second-place finish here. Good evening there, Dean. Another second place for you here this championship week.
I'm going to have to start taking you out to dinner if I keep on talking to you, Adam.
Well, maybe call in dinner at least.
No, another good run. Trevor ran great. I got lucky on that last double file restart there. Started on the outside. He took the outside, so that's how I got from fourth to second. I don't know if I was better than those guys, but I had a better starting spot, and that got me up into second. And then it made me feel good because even though if there was going to be another yellow, which there was, it was going to be single file after that anyway. So I didn't have to worry about starting on the bottom on the next restart. So
well, you did have a single file. You did have a single file restart.
Yeah, but with that, you don't have to worry about double file because even when you're second on double file and I'm on single screen, you can't see when that leader goes. And
I feel you.
Starting behind the leader is going to get the advantage and get you, and that's what I did when we had the double file. I was lucky to get around Billy and to get around Mike. So yeah, when it's single file, at least you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, you're going to get second, but you don't have to worry about falling back to third or fourth. You can just try to get the guy in the laps that you got to close. And we gave her a shot in that last lap at 3 and 4, but I sailed in just a little too hot and got the wall. I don't know if it would have got him, but I said, you know what? If I stay behind him, I'm going to finish second. So we'll sail her in and see what happens. And luckily I did get in the wall, but luckily Billy didn't get me. So we'll take another second.
Yeah, he tried a shot at you, but that just wasn't enough.
Yeah, Billy was good in 3 and 4. He found that lane in the middle, and I heard him down there a couple times. And then Trevor went down there the lap before, and he pulled out on me coming out of 4. And I'm like, well, that's where I need to go. And so I switched my lane to go middle 3, 4. And then it was definitely still top 1, 2. You can almost flat-foot it up top in 1 and 2. And, and then, we just tried on that last lap to see what we could do. I couldn't do any slider because I knew what Trevor was going to do. I was surprised he went low with 1 and 2, though, on that last lap. He did that. I kind of smiled and, sailed her in hot and put the foot to the floor and see what I could do. And got a good run at him coming out of 2, and we gave it a shot. But, no, 2 good runs. Pleasure running with these guys. And pleasure running with Billy. And, good clean racing we never touched.
For sure. And kind of take us through your thoughts. I mean, from the driver's seat, could you tell that corner number 1 and 2 was just slightly different than corners 3 and 4?
Oh yeah, no, you can. The banking is different. The apex is different. Turn 2 you can come out hard. Turn 4 washes you out. Turn 4, it's a little wider coming out of 4, so the cushion gets pushed up higher. So it's good coming out on top on 3 and 4 for a while, but then eventually it gets pushed out too far, which that's what it did here in this race. And then, you're spinning coming off, and, the car that runs the middle can do a little diamond coming out and get a little bit better run. But 1 and 2, you could sail it hard up there. The way the apex is, it'll grip you coming off too. You can stay right up against that wall, and you literally can just flat-foot it. You can put the foot to the floor and just go.
Well, yeah, because what I was seeing here on the broadcast is 3 and 4 looked like the entrance slicked up very quickly here tonight, and 1 and 2 took forever to kind of get rubbered up.
Yeah, and 3 and 4 normally the slider line is the faster line, but tonight it just worked different. Where the top in the 358 race, the top stayed good all race. Here it was good for a while, and then it just went to the middle. But it all depends where everyone runs. When you get 15 to 22, 23 cars. It depends what lanes they're running. You got to watch how the track changes during the race. And, some guys do it better than others, and I don't necessarily really read the track because I just like running the top, so I kind of live and die with my choices.
Well, you did a great job getting second again here in the big blocks. Do we think that it's enough to make a run at the top of the leaderboard on the points?
No, I think the same deal, because just like the 358s, my 2 drops for 2 races, I didn't show up, and Bart had some tough luck, so maybe we close in on him a little bit, and we'll see if Patrick gets the points done and take a look. That's going to be interesting. He had some tough luck, but we'll see. We'll take a look. You never know with the drops. I don't count, and I've only won one championship or two championships at coast to coast, but I haven't won a nighttime championship yet. I would like to get one before I get really old and crippled, and I'm almost old and crippled now. So,
well, I mean,
one of these times I can finally get one.
Because, I mean, looking at the points, the guys in front of you are Watson, who has 10 races counted. Kristofferson has 10 races counted. Bachman has 9, and you have 9. So, I mean, you don't seem too far off.
No, it's close. It's just when you get to the end of the year, everyone usually had 9 good races as their total. Because when you get to 2 drops or 10 good races, there's 12 weeks that count. And when you get guys as consistent as Sam and William, those 10 races, they're going to have good finishes in 10 races. If they have bad luck, it's only going to be in 1 or 2 races. So, that's why they're so tough. I mean, that's why William is such a good points racer, and Sam has been too. They usually finish just about every race.
Yeah, looking at it right now, you're only 2 points behind Sam.
Yeah, so I'm actually trying to get on the website to see if Patrick's done the points up to date yet, and I'll take a look here in a second. Let's see if he's got them up to date, and we'll take a look here. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm only seeing 11 of 11 races so far there, Dean, so I don't see any updates yet.
It still looks the same, so but we'll see. It looks like, Bert had a pretty good lead, though. So.
Well, great job there tonight, putting on quite a show up there in second in both the 358 and big blocks. And are you going to come out and enjoy a little bit of Pro Late models?
Yes, I am. I'm actually loaded in, and I'm going to go out on the track and get some laps in, and we'll give it another shot. So, thank again the guys from FTM. Thank you, Adam, for doing the broadcast, Coast to Coast for giving us a place to race, and got to say hi to Megan because Megan turned on with 8 laps to go and watched the race. So I'm sure she's probably still watching. So we better say hi to Megan because if I don't, she might not come over and smile at me.
All right. Well, you got any other thank yous that you need to give out there, Dean?
No, we're all good.
All righty. Well, congrats again.
Thank you, man.
All right, that was Dean Reynolds, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with Trevor Guru. Good evening there, Trevor. How's it going?
Good, you?
It's going really well, and man, you were able to hold off Dean there at the end, trying different lines there, it seemed, to see where the momentum of the track was.
Yeah, just top kind of went away pretty quick, so tried the middle and kind of middle top, and it worked, but Dean was just nailing that top way better than me, and he was definitely quicker at the end than I was. So props to Dean, man. That was a fun race.
He did a great job, and can't wait to see. Are you coming out for the Pro Late models?
Oh yeah, I'll be there for sure.
All righty. Well, we look forward to seeing that, and congrats here at Cedar Lake getting a win here in the big box. I mean, you think your car felt pretty good for the way the track changed here? I know it changed quite differently here in the big blocks than what it did in the 358s.
Yeah, definitely. Car felt really good. I'm super comfortable here, and especially running the top. But when it gets that thin for me, it's a little dicey up there. I kind of hope the middle comes in, which it kind of did there, kind of a slider. But other than that, I mean, the car was working everywhere. I mean, you saw in the heat race, it worked on the bottom, worked on the top for most of the feature, felt good in the middle. So had some good speed tonight, and happy to close out the big block season with a win here.
All right, well, congrats, and we'll see how it goes here for you next season. And congrats. You got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for getting that victory here in the big blocks tonight?
Yeah, just all the guys at FTM, of course, and all the sponsors on the car, man. I appreciate every single one of these sponsors for coming on board for another successful season here in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Big Tim Race Wraps, Artisan Trackside, Shaggy TV, everybody on board my car. I really appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for tuning in all season long. It's not over yet. We got one more race to close out the season here, so stick around and enjoy some pro late models, and then I think we're off for 2 weeks. So yeah, like I said, just everyone watching the YouTube streams all season long and sticking around for some good racing. Appreciate all the fans in the chat, and everyone who supports their favorite driver and supports the league by watching. So yeah, and thank you, Adam, of course, for doing the broadcast for us too. We appreciate it.
All righty, my pleasure, and we'll see you in the pro late models. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Alex Trevor Guru is our winner here tonight, and the big block modifieds. We'll catch everybody here in just a few moments. We'll be right back with some pro late model action.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get.
Tonight when we talked about it.
These dollars that come together.
Our camera is back up and running here, so just bear with me. We somehow lost connection here. Hopefully they don't get too far along. We're only heat race and then our main race. Points here tonight for your standings are going to be William Watson trying to fight for a win over top of Dean Reynolds. I would say just bear with me here. Oh, great. Mickey Mouse is back. Alright. I got a mic attached somewhere. And I don't know where. Trying to get it up and running here, folks. Bear with me. Hopefully we don't miss all that much, but I have a feeling we have. And I'm sorry for the chipmunk that keeps trying to talk over me. Come on now, iRacing, let's go. I know these guys are probably either one getting lined up for warm-ups or two they're getting lined up here for the feature. We only got 7 drivers here competing. In the feature. Looks like we're in the main event here. Starting grid here quickly is Watson, Peru, Vitelli. They're in a third. Dean Reynolds fourth. Billy Roberts fifth. Joseph Randy is sixth. Scott Rio in a sixth. We don't have anything up over there on the main side of things. Let's see if we can fix that. Get underway here tonight. Got in through turn 1 and 2. Back out there in the corner number 3 and 4. Rio with a black flag possibly. Not sure what that's about. And rolling down through in the corner number 1 and 2. Down there, trying to loop it around. Peru out there in front. And nothing there. It's up there it comes. It's coming alive. Alright, there we go. Dean Reynolds there second. Watson there third. Randy back here in fourth. The car battling out. Battling Sam, Watson, and Dean Reynolds at the top of the leaderboard when it comes to the points. And right there in front, Trevor Carew, he did a great job in the big block bringing up the win here at Cedar Lake. Down on the backstretch, 25 laps to go for these drivers here in the big blocks. I'm sorry, not the big blocks, the Pro Late Ball. What am I saying? Starting in for the hiccup there that took place in the middle there during the heat and warm-up session. So we got it here and got our main event televised here for the Wrinkle Wrap to the side. Third Pro Late Ball, and then watch come down there through off of 2 once again. Peru out front, Reynolds there in second. Watson in third, and then rolling on out there. Hey, see him roll out here. Guerrero still out there in front. We got Reynolds there in second. Watson there third. They want them out of turn number 4 down across the stripe. 14 laps to go. All right, sounds like we got rid of the chipmunk. And Guerrero's out there in front. Dean Reynolds there in second. Joseph Grandy there in third. Watson there fourth. Twelve laps to go with Reynolds out front. Guerrero trying to battle him hard, but Reynolds down on the inside. Gonna see if he can make a run. Here with 11 laps to go, Reynolds really putting the heat to it. Down there in the corner, number 3 and 4, back out here. On to 3 and 4, down here in the corner, number 1 and 2. Reynolds up there on the high side, trying to get that machine to move along. He's not far behind Guerrero there. Grandy now up there in the third as he got round to Watson. Vitelli there fifth, Rion there in sixth. Billy Roberts struggling just a tad here into 99. Down there through on the bottom side, up off the corner. There you see the 75 of Guerrero out there in front. Reynolds there in the front. Real quickly here, we'll go ahead and show the Heat 1 results as we missed them. Watson got the win, Trevor Guerrero got second, Vitelli there third. Dean Reynolds fourth, Roberts there fifth, Joseph Grandy there sixth, and Rioman seventh. So a little bit of a shake-up here in the main event. 6 laps to go as they work off the corner. Down through into corner number 3 and 4 now. Guerrero still up front. Reynolds there second. Watson got around Grandy, and Grandy's now back on the bottom, trying to battle his way back up there into third, but Watson is there. There you see him work there through 1 and 2. Back out here, off of 3 and 4. 3 laps to go. Here for your Regal Wraps and Designs Pro League bottles here from Cedar Lake. Watson up there on the top side. Grandy down there on the inside trying to make something happen. Trevor Guerrero out front has a mirror of Dean Reynolds. As they come around here off of 4, back onto the front stretch. Waving the flag is Fred down there into corner number 1 and 2. Reynolds gets into that turn 1 wall hard. That worked down there. Guerrero drives down there to the bottom side. That worked up off. Guerrero's going to take the win here tonight. We see Reynolds there in second, Watson third, Grandy there fourth. Vitelli in 5th, Rion there 6th, Roberts in 7th. Again, here is your finishing results. With Trevor Guerrero getting the win, Dean Reynolds 2nd, Watson there in 3rd, Grandy 4th, Vitelli there 5th, Rion 6th, Billy Roberts there in 7th. See if we can get with our winners here. We'll get with Watson. Good evening there, Watson. How's it going?
Good, bud. How about you?
I'm doing well. Do you think 3rd place is enough for you?
Oh, yeah. And this one, yeah.
And this one, you think so?
Yeah, I'm leading good business.
Well, I mean, you did a great job getting that thing up there in the 3rd place tonight. You struggled though a little bit in the modifieds, though it seemed.
No, sir, I did not. I was flying, and somebody couldn't hold their line and caused the wrecks right there in front of me. So I hope they didn't take me out the points, but doesn't receive an apology for it. You know, sitting there racing when the points leader and caused the wrecks in front of me. You should apologize for wrecking him out of the race, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just tough luck. I mean, it seemed like you had a good handle on things for the most part, and just unfortunate things happened there in front of you, and then it seemed like you ended up pushing a little hard there a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I started 14th in the big blocks, and it was haul and tail. Came up to like 8th, I think it was, and then stuff happened in front of me. I mean, there were 3 wide, but, you know, that's going up 2 lanes from the bottom of the track to the top. Pretty bad. As you can tell, really irritated, but we probably shouldn't be talking about it right now, but it is what it is. We'll see how it works out. I'm trying to get, I haven't got that triple crown this season yet for all 3 of the series here in one night, so I was trying to get to the championships. That's what I was going for.
Well, I mean, you did a great job, and hanging on to that, and unfortunately, just not enough to get up there to get ahead of Dean in this race. But as you said, it should be enough to make sure you grab that championship.
Oh yeah, I mean, I called back up to him, because when they started throwing the sliders on us, I was waiting on, and trying to save a little bit of tires, and then I called up to him, and I made a mistake. I came down because Dean came up to the top of the track, and he was a little off pace, so I came down, didn't know Granny was down below me. So that was my fault right there, but was able to get back around Granny. It works out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you have any sponsors? Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, Team FFTV, Sponsor Shops, Duper Performance, GoodBucks.com, Venus Dirt Car Series, Vortex Graphics for the wraps, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast, and you sponsored this one, right?
Yes.
I appreciate you, Ben.
Yeah, Regal Wraps and Designs here from me sponsored the Pro Late models.
Appreciate it.
Well, you have a great job there, Watson, and enjoy the championship here this season.
Thanks, sir.
All right, Alan William Watson. Now I'll get with Dean Reynolds. Good evening there, Dean. How's it going?
Well, hi, Adam. Long time no talk.
Yeah, I mean, you've had yourselves a real good night tonight.
Yeah, Cedar Lake, I guess, fit my style tonight. It was got a little lucky. I mean, I felt bad in the heat there. I got behind Bart there in the heat on the start, and he slid a little bit in front of me and lost some momentum. And not that he did wrong, but I let off, and then my car shot across the track, and I took out Randy and Scotty, and I think Billy got involved there. Felt bad on that, but that's what got me a 4th place start on the race. But starting on the outside was definitely the advantage, there in that race. So it was enabled me to get around Bart to get into the top, and then I just figured I'll follow that 75 again for like 30 laps, like I did in the second race, the big block.
Yeah, I mean,
But it was a lot of fun.
you look like you guys definitely do have a lot of fun out there. I'm hoping maybe at some point we can get the car counts to kind of click up a little bit here for the Pro Late models. I know I've seen a few people looking for Pro Late models on different sections of Facebook, so I don't know if trying to put the name out there would work or not. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what it's going to take. It needs to have people solicit. People need to solicit and get people into the league. There's more guys that want to run Pro Late models. It is late at night, but I get it. And the Dome race is on. Some guys love to go watch that. Actually, I was even thinking about going to watch it, but then I'm glad I came in because I was the only admin. So luckily I did come on in and able to clear blacks and stuff. But there's only 7 cars, and we all knew each other. Matter of fact, we were all joking around while we were warming up, and then we saw your stream freeze, and we're like, oh, geez. I go, guys, we're just going to go advance, and let's go racing. And then, I asked the guys, do you really need the 3 laps of warm-ups, or do we want to go? And they said, no, let's go. Let's just get into the feature and go run. And we were all joking around there for a while. And then once we got racing, though, we got racing hard. But even though there's only 7 cars there, you're going to see good racing because we all respect each other, we all like each other, and that's what we got. So it was a good race, and congrats to Trevor on the win, and congrats to William Watson. His nickname is Bart, so we like to call him Bart, and he might have got all 3 championships, but we'll have to see with the points. I know he got the Pro Late models. He was far enough ahead to clinch this. He could have been in Bermuda and he would have clinched this one. So, good year for him.
Well, you did a great job. You got sponsor shots. Anybody you want to thank there for the second place here in the Pro Late models?
Oh, we just got to thank the same guys at FTM. We had another sweep. That was kind of cool to get another sweep there, in that race. So we got to thank that. Adam, thank you for the sponsorships with you, Regal Rats and Designs, for bringing the Pro Late models because, the FTM sponsorship only does the first 2 nights. So thanks so much for doing the late models and bringing them to us. And Coast to Coast for a place to race. And then hopefully Megan's still watching. And she likes knowing that her guy got twice all 3 races. So I'm gonna brag a little bit. Call myself a stud or something.
Alrighty, well, you did a good job here tonight. Great run, and we'll see you next season, I guess, Dean, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm part of the administrative people at Coast to Coast, and we'll be back. And matter of fact, the winter season's the season I can usually do almost all the races, if not all the races. That's the one I actually look forward to the most.
Alrighty, well, congrats again, and we'll see you next season here. Now, I'll definitely keep posted here with what's going on in the off season as we get things situated for that.
All right, Adam. We'll talk to you again.
Alrighty. That was Dean Reynolds, second place there. Now we'll get with Trevor Guru. Good evening there, Trevor. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. You got 2 races in a row here tonight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was a pretty damn good night for me and FTM as a whole, man. I think we swept all the races.
So, and then Bart wins. He won the championship in the 358s, the big blocks, and the Pro Late models. So, first and foremost, before I go any further, I mean, hats off to him. That is incredible. I mean, I've been trying my ass off to win 3 races in a row, let alone 3 championships in a row. So, hats off to Bart, man. Incredible season. I can't think of anyone else who's done that. So, I mean, that's a season for the ages for Bart. That's incredible. Props to him.
Yeah, he's had a great... Man, I mean, you got a great run here tonight yourself, getting that victory here in the Pro Late models, getting the victory in the big blocks, and hopefully that's something to say for next season.
Yeah, man, just it's good momentum going into next season. We're gonna have a bit of a break here, but the work doesn't stop. Just gonna keep practicing, gonna stay warm, if you will, and get the practice in, and try and go for some championships next season. I missed a few races this season, so wasn't really in contention for any of them. But next season, gonna come out strong, and like I said, this is good momentum ending the season with 2 wins. Good momentum going into next season, so hopefully we can carry this success over and see what we can do. I think I had 4 wins in the Pro Late models this season, so that's probably my best season yet in the Pro Late. So, like I said, good momentum going into next season. Gonna try and chase the championship.
Well, you did a great job there tonight, and definitely taking that momentum and running with it for next season. Hopefully, will work in your favor. I mean, because even though we're not running per se for points next week, I believe Coast to Coast has some fun runs during week 13.
Yeah, they do. They do some fun runs. The season's technically over points-wise, but they'll put on some fun runs just to keep everyone going and coming back. But I think for me, I might run in one, but I think for me, I'm just going to take this time and spend a few days with my wife and my dog. It's been a busy season, man. I'm racing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday now, so. Yeah, I'm going to take some time, spend some time with the wife and my dog, and then get right back at it here in a couple weeks.
Well, and I think at some point during this off season as well, that we call off season through the winter, looks like they're looking at your profile picture. You have your own race car IRL.
I used to. I don't race no more in real life, but I did for a little bit there. You know, definitely best time of my life during those moments. But you know, maybe get back into it one day. Who knows?
Alrighty. Well, you have yourself a great night there, and enjoy the off season.
Thank you, sir. Just before I go, just want to thank.
Oh yeah, all your sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you need to thank there. Yeah, make sure you thank them.
Yeah, with the season being done, I just want to, you know, just give a huge, heartfelt thank you to, you know, all the guys at FTM. Like I said, great season for us, and heartfelt thank you to Dean Reynolds of the Super Dirt Car Series, who comes on board my rides every season. So props to him. I really appreciate him. I love him. Thank you to Expert Installation, Artisan Trackside, Big Tim Race Wrap, Shaggy TV. Thank you everybody for tuning in all season long and rooting on your favorite drivers all season long, and watching that YouTube supports the league. So we appreciate every single person who's tuned in this season, and looking forward to getting it back going here in a couple weeks.
Alrighty, well, congrats again there, Trevor, and we'll see you next season.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that was Trevor Rue, our victory winner here tonight, here at Cedar Lake in the Pro Late Models for the Regal Wraps and Designs Dirt Pro Late Models. So thank you all again for tuning in here to Coast Racing Network. And for those few that watched over at Fleeger Prime TV, thank you again for watching. We'll catch you later. We're done here for tonight. Good night.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon.